Cheers, happy rainy Sunday TSBA. I'm going to do a little demo for you today. I'm going to do a barrel-aged old fashioned and a mini barrel. This is a custom barrel I ordered online, paid about 60 bucks for it. Very happy with the investment. I've had some really good results. I'm going to do a holiday spice old fashioned today for you and get something a little interesting going here that I can enjoy around Christmas time. First off, I'm going to add my whiskeys. Now I have several bottles here to choose from. They're little leftovers that friends gave me, maybe some didn't care for. Typically when I use mine, I use either a cheap bottle or I use something I didn't really like. Bullet Rye from Frank Wagner. He just had a little bit of a left. He's moved on to some more expensive things. He said go ahead and use it in a barrel. So when this is done, I'll share the barrel with him. Also using some Blonde Brothers. It's from my buddy Marty. He absolutely hated it. I drank some, didn't care for it myself. In the barrel it goes. The first time I did it with Rabbit Hole Rye that I didn't care for. It turned out outstanding. I have done a couple with nicer bottles. This is done with Buffalo Trace. This one I'm drinking now was 2/3 Buffalo Trace, 1/3 Luxardo Cherry Liqueur with some vanilla beans chopped up in it. I aged that for 4 months. Turned out wonderful. It's a little bit desserty. It's kind of sweet, but on a rainy Sunday afternoon, I figured it works. I'm going to keep on adding until it's mostly full. This ain't sand. A lot of good reviews. I really just didn't care for it all. So again, in the barrel it goes. This is only a 2-liter barrel. If I had to do it over again or the next one I would probably order a 4 or 5-liter barrel. It does take a while to age. And then it seems when you break it out and you're drinking it, everybody loves it and it tends to go really fast. I'm just going to save these bottles, rip off the labels, and then refill them with what's in the barrel. So my barrel's probably about half full at this point. So we're going to add some spice to it. A little bit of ground nutmeg here. It's almost empty, so I'm going to go ahead and just add the rest. I'm guessing there's probably 1/4 teaspoon there. I'm also going to add some whole cloves. Again, previously stated, I did this with some vanilla beans. Turned out really well. Just add a few of those in there. I probably added 6 or 7. Just going to keep on adding some whiskey, get these flushed through into the barrel. As it gets fuller, you will kind of have to angle the funnel a little bit. It's going to burp itself, so you have to make sure you get some airflow in there. So I added some nutmeg, also added the clove. We're going to go ahead and stick some bitters in there also. Some Old Forester cinnamon bitters. So I'm definitely going for more of a spice flavor here. I'm thinking as a dessert, possibly an eggnog. It would probably go good in like mulled cider or something like that also. And I am using a generous amount because this is a 2-liter barrel. So I filled that several times. So I have cinnamon, nutmeg, clove, and gonna finish it off with some classic orange bitters. And again, I'm being generous because I'm making a batch that is 2 liters. When a drink typically is 4 ounces, so I'm accounting for the larger size. It actually smells really outstanding. I did have a little bit of nutmeg leak out when I moved it, so we're going to tap that down in there. And again, I'm probably a little over half full, so I'm just going to top it off. You can see I'm doing this on a towel. They do leak. When you use your mini barrel for the first time, make sure you cure it. You need water on the inside and on the outside and let it soak. I just did it in a big bowl in my sink. Probably 3 days, turn it around, swishing it out. The wood has to expand inside the rings so that it doesn't leak. When it leaks, you have a sticky, nasty mess. And when I let it age, I do keep it on top of a towel also. This is just a larceny shelfer. Again, just something cheap to fill up the barrel. It's a decent drinker, so I figured it'll work just fine in there. Once I have this filled, I am going to cap it. And I'm going to let it sit till probably Christmas Eve. So I'm going to be right at about 31, 32 days on it, and then I will share it with my friends, and I'll just reuse these bottles and fill them and pass them out. As it does age, I do turn it about every week or so. Just rotate it on the stand. In my decanter, this is a rye mix. I think it's Rare Breed rye and Elijah Craig rye, possibly. I just want to give it a little bit more of a kick. I added a lot of sweetness to it already, so I figured give it a little bit of kick, a little bit more depth of flavor. And it is getting pretty full. I always put stuff in my decanter just to have around. I also do blends. My favorite, of course, is the Old Forester 1915, which would be half Old Forester 1920 and half Old Forester 1910. Definitely a big Old Forester fan. Love the Whiskey Roast series. I did get lucky enough to visit the gift shop this year and picked up some birthday bourbon. So on Tuesday will be my birthday. I'll be able to open up my own bottle of birthday bourbon for the first time ever. Pretty excited about that. I'm sure my local buddies are going to show up to enjoy a pour. The smell that's coming out of this is really incredible. I can definitely smell the cinnamon, the nutmeg, and the clove. I think these flavors will go nicely together. Again, probably more of like a desserty drink, or possibly in with a cider eggnog or something of the like. Just trying to top it off at this point. When you make it yourself, I do recommend Ancient Age. 10 Star is a great one, very cheap. You get a 1.75 liter bottle for 20 some dollars. I've done that one. That's a really good one to use if you can find, or any other ones. Obviously the Heaven Hill Green Label is great if you can find one. I know they're hard to get nowadays. I think they actually stopped making them. But you don't need anything expensive to make this. It's actually a better way to use something that's cheap or something you don't like that much, because you're really going to change the flavor a lot with the barrel and what you add to it. This is a little Nicholson Reserve. We did have some of this when we visited Lux Row. It's pretty good for the price. Has a little bit of cherry flavor to it. I'm getting pretty close to having this full here. I'm just trying to pay attention and not spill it all over. And there's my spill and full. So this is 2 liters. It will really not evaporate very much. You won't lose much of it. Now, if I can just find the plug for it. Nice little mess I made for myself here. Always use the towel to clean up. So there it is, barrel aged old fashioned. Use multiple whiskeys, went ahead and added bitters. I did add nutmeg and clove. In the past, I've done vanilla bean. They're expensive, but they're really, really good, and you can use multiple batches with just a couple of vanilla beans. So there you have it, my holiday barrel-aged old-fashioned. We're probably going to open this up or pass it out about the 23rd or so of December, so it's going to get right around 30, 31 days on there. Thank you for joining me today, TSBA. I'll try and do some more demos and more videos in the future. I know we've been slacking on it lately. We appreciate your participation. Everybody's been great members of the group, always is looking out for each other, sharing bottles, samples, so on and so forth. So if you ever have any questions, please hit me up. I'm always happy to help. Cheers, TSBA.